But when you're in Iran, it's actually funny that I noticed. Okay, they love eating, and I can't explain to the extreme of how much they love to eat. But have you ever been to a funeral in Iran? I hate to bring up something depressing, but in Iran they have these, they have funerals, right? So, people back here, they're really sad because they're crying over their loved ones. They're just like, and they're upset, and it's horrific to watch. But then we're over here, we're just like. You're so sad, as you're sitting there like mourning for these people, all of a sudden just someone comes out like, do you want tea? You're like, woman, I cannot eat right now. But yeah, that was intense for me. But Iranians eat a lot of food, and even if you don't want to eat, you have to eat because they get offended if you don't. I was like, Grandma, I'm really full, I can't eat. Food mood? Yanichi, I cooked this for you. Then later on, you go have dinner with them and you're eating. And then someone in your family just can't help it. He's like, Ideene, age sham bokhori mitereki. Which translated means, Ideene, if you eat dinner, you're going to explode. But I love Iran, and I love your family, and I love the rituals. But there's one thing right now when I go back that I can't really handle. It's the whole dampoy situation. And for those of you who don't know what dampoy is, I'm going to tell you. Dampoy are just sandals. That's what it's translated into. But in Iran, these sandals are the occasional fly swatter. Dual meaning. And every Iranian household has about 30 pairs of sandals. So every room you go to, at every entrance of a room, sandals. The kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, someone else's filon room. And one time, I'm wearing the kitchen sandals, and then I left and went to the living room. And then I felt like going to the bathroom with them too. And as I came back out of the bathroom, my grandma was just standing there. Ideene? I'm just like, Grandma, I'm sorry. It's too much to remember. So let's talk about Facebook. Who here is not on Facebook? That guy is. In my house, we call it Fuzul book. And I don't know how to translate that in English, but ask the neighbor around you. But I'm getting really stressed out. Facebook is stressing me out. Because as a joke, I put on I'm in a relationship with, as a joke, with one of my friends who's a girl. And about a week later, my mom gets a phone call. My family in Iran is congratulating her on my recent marriage. Oh my God, I'm not getting married. But seriously, I could write a TV show about Persian parents. Persian moms, basically Persians don't like being told what to do. And so Persian moms should not have GPSs. Unless, if they can make one that speaks Farsi, that would be perfect. The other day I was with my mom in the car, and the GPS speaks, and it's like, turn right. Mom's exactly more to the right, baby! She's not gonna let some British boys tell her. One time my family and three another Persian families, they all decided it's a great idea, we take a road trip down to Florida. And it took them about 3 hours to gather to our house. And another hour to gather 5 days of food into the van. Because Florida's not going to have any food. So we get on the road finally, and after an hour into the road, we're in Ohio. Someone in the car is just craving a cup of tea. So then we decide to stop, and we go to the nearest gas station, and we just lay out a full picnic. Cheese, coupon covers, tomatoes, just everything's already ready to serve. And me and my friends were just like, oh, you're so foreign. And then moms go inside the gas station to get hot water. You know, because just hot water. They already have the tea bags with them. But as everyone knows, Iranians are either doctors or engineers. It's a very true stereotype. And that's because, you know, the day after we're born, our parents, they put like an MCAT prep book like, into our crib. It's like our lullaby. It's like math problems. I must have ate mine or something because I've never had the desire to be a doctor, obviously. But it's only because our parents, they want us to be successful. They want us to have credibility, you know. To my mom, the only people who have credibility in this world are doctors and Oprah. So Oprah said, tea is very good. Every time you're sick, this is what makes me laugh. Every time you're sick, Iranian parents, they say one thing, like you've caught a cold. Fair enough. And then the best part is every time you've caught a cold, you know, and it's because you've been walking around outside naked. In the Farsi they say, "Hamishe miri birun lokht." You're right, Dad. I really gotta stop going to school naked. When I was in Iran the first time, I was really young, and I learned this, it's kind of like this word to say no, but you don't have to actually say any words. It's pretty cool. I'll teach you that. So basically, when you don't want to do something and you want to say no, you just go like this. So they'll be like, Sham mikhad. Shayin mikhad. Are you gonna do your homework? And eventually my dad would get really mad because we do this in America, you know, like. And it's funny because my dad gets really pissed off, you know, it's just like. And as an American Iranian, when your dad's like trying to swear at you, it's more funny because we hear like we translate into English, you know. So he'd be like. Translated into English, that just means like father's dog or dog's dog. So me and my sister are like, okay, Dad. Really scared. And he does this other one, it's like, Korhan! You're like, that just means like baby's donkey. My friends always ask me, Ideene, do you have to marry an Iranian? I'm like, no. My parents are pretty cool. As long as they can change my husband's name into like an Iranian one, it's fine. Like my sister married this American guy named Sam. We call him Song. I used to date like this guy named Dave. He turned into Dalfood. Yeah, whatever works. But my grandma, though, in Iran, she's pretty concerned about the whole marriage thing and me. You know, because my time, you know, my clock is ticking, and it's almost over for me. So she'll be like, you know, Ideene, zendagi tana khub nist, which means life lived alone is not good. And she's like, Ideene, when I was 20 years old, I had 3 kids. And my grandma, times have changed. You know, when I was 20, my biggest concern was not getting a parking ticket. Here on Grand River. But Iranians, they have the hardest time saying goodbye. Honestly, the saying goodbye part of the night lasts longer than the actual party. So they'll be there and someone's just like, hope us to get very, you know, you better get going, it's getting late. And everyone like puts on their coats, you know, and they slowly walk towards the door. And they're like, you know, everyone, kids, we're leaving. But like the kids, they know better. You know, we're down here playing internet, TV, Nintendo. We're like, yeah, they're leaving. Yeah, we have another hour to go. Because upstairs, yeah, they're still like up gathered by the door. See, phenomenal, talking. And then someone mentions something completely different. And the whole conversation starts again. And the party continues, and they stay for like another 2 hours.